What's happening, everybody? Sean, joined again by my son, Trey, and today we got quite the battle. We've got Canned Heat going up the country versus the legendary CSNY with Woodstock, brought to us by friend, longtime supporter, and patron channel, Seals. Thank you, Seals. Appreciate you. Appreciate everything that you bring to this channel. We would not make it without the patrons. Seals got some good info on this. He says, since August marks the 54th anniversary of Woodstock, I'll give you two songs that are synonymous with the festival. The first one's Going Up the Country by Canned Heat, the late Bob the Bear Height on vocals. The second song is Woodstock by CSNY. It was written by Joni Mitchell after she heard an account of the festival from Graham Nash, who was her boyfriend at the time. Joni did not attend Woodstock because her agent didn't want her to miss her appearance on the Dick Cavett show the day after. I didn't remember that was why. Ironically, CSN appeared on that same show coming directly from the festival. Yeah,
man.
It's got a little bit of facts about Woodstock, right?
Yeah, Richie Havens opened the show and had to play an extended set because no one else could get there because traffic was so backed up. If you've seen footage of Woodstock and just the sheer volume of people, you can see why. His song Freedom came from this. Jimi Hendrix, of course, had a legendary set here. Closed the show. He didn't come on until Monday morning because of a long rain delay. Most of the crowd had left by then. Because Max Yasker's farm wasn't selected as the site until the last minute, they couldn't finish the fencing around it. As a result, many people just crashed through the gate, got in for free. The promoters only recovered their investment with the release of the concert movie. And, you know, obviously then through the years, we had different Woodstocks to varying levels of success or disaster, speaking of 1999.
Well, mainly disaster. So we'll start out with Going Up the Country, Canned Heat off Livin' the Blues in 1968. You don't know anything about them. They're an American blues and rock band that was formed in LA in 1965. The group has been noted for its efforts to promote interest in blues music and its original artists. They're kind of like the anti-Jimmy Page, right? It was launched by two blues enthusiasts, Alan Wilson and Bob Height, who took the name from Tommy Johnson's 1928 Canned Heat Blues. I've always wondered where they got a song about an alcoholic who had desperately turned to drinking Sterno, generically called Canned Heat.
Interesting.
I've never heard of it.
Okay.
After appearances at the Monterey and Woodstock festivals at the end of the 60s, they acquired worldwide fame with the lineup of Height on vocals, Wilson on guitar, harmonica. You gotta have harmonica in the 60s, and vocals, Henry Vestine, and later Harvey Mandel lead guitar, Larry Taylor bass, and Adolfo de la Parra on drums. Tell us about the song.
This song became one of their biggest hits and best known songs. Went to 11 here in the States, which was their best, and 19 in the UK, 5 in Canada. They based it on Bulldoze Blues, recorded in 1928 by Texas bluesman Henry Thomas. Canned Heat's Wilson used Thomas's melody on the quills and his basic rhythm, but arranged it for a rock setting and rewrote the lyrics. Although linked to the counterculture of the 60s, Back to the Land movement, the lyrics are ambiguous, leading some to suggest they are about invading the draft during the Vietnam War by moving to Canada.
And they would not touch that. They just did not comment on that at all. All right, we're going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Seals.
I feel I've heard this melody for sure.
It's been on commercials and stuff. I almost know it's on a car commercial.
I'm going to some place where I've never been before. I'm going where the water tastes like wine. I'm going where the water tastes like wine. We can jump in the water, stay drunk all the time. To get away. All this fussing and fighting, man, you know I sure can't stay. Now baby, back you're leaving drunk, you know we've got to leave today. Just exactly where we're going I cannot say, but we might even leave the USA. Cause it's a brand new game I don't wanna play.
I can definitely see why they think about the Vietnam War, man. I don't think that's a stretch.
to see you running or screaming and crying, 'cause you've got a home as long as I've got mine.
All right, going up the country, can't he? You mentioned at the start, Trey, like that first verse, at least the first two lines. They've been in a lot of like automobile commercials and stuff like that. Like, you know, like
the rhythm section and just everything. It was like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, like so. I mean, it's a good song. It definitely is about the Vietnam War, if you ask me, or at least part of it is there. Because I'm gonna leave the city. You got to get away. All this fussing and fighting, man. You know, I sure can't stay. And he's like, pack your leaving trunk. You know you got to leave today. Just like exactly where we're going, I cannot say. But we might even leave the USA because there's a brand new game I don't want to play.
Yeah, I was going to say, knowing the culture where it was written and everything, it's not much of a stretch, right? But didn't probably want to touch that.
Didn't want to touch it.
Like, hey,
but
you can read between.
Yeah, exactly. And that that was going to get you popular back in the day. So you're really working it, Trey. You're really in it if you not have one flute solo, but you have two.
I was just about to say that, showing the confluence of different instruments here and in the rock genre. You had a little bit of everything going right here, and
for sure.
Height's vocals took me a little bit to acclimate to as well, just
because
he's got. I don't even know how to describe.
I don't either.
to describe it, but I don't know. It kind of worked, I guess, with the flute going in right there. So Canned Heat, we learned a lot about them here today, and now people, we're going to the Woodstock track, and it's not on Spotify because Uncle Neil Young took all his stuff off about a couple years ago, and I guess all of CSNY stuff is now gone as well. So
I wonder what CSN. I realize Crosby's not with us anymore, but I wonder what they thought of that. Man, that's a little different thing to deal with.
But this song, as we noted, was written by the great Joni Mitchell. At least 4 notable versions of the song were released in the same year.
It's crazy.
1970. Mitchell's own version from her album Ladies of the Canyon. CSNY. British band Matthew Southern Comfort became the best known version in the UK. Was the highest charting version of the song, reaching the top of the UK singles chart in 1970. Then a 4th version by Studio Project, The Assembled Multitude, also became a chart hit.
Just crazy. Like, can you imagine, like, now people, all right, the lyrics are for obviously the Woodstock Festival, telling the story of a concert goer on a trek to attend the festival. We talked about Mitchell not being able to do it, and Graham Nash inspired her by telling her about it. The anthemic song, as well as the festival, commemorates, is symbolic of the counterculture of the 60s, particularly to the CSNY. About the same time that Ladies of the Canyon appeared, CSNY released it as the lead single from Deja Vu. Stephen Still sings the lead vocal with backing harmonies, of course, from Crosby, Nash, and Young. The band's version introduced major changes in tone. Jimi Hendrix was involved early in the song's development, and recording taped on September 30th, 1969, half a year before the album came out, with Hendrix playing bass and overdubbing guitar, was released in 2018 on the album Both Sides of the Sky. Sound engineer Eddie Kramer stated that, quote, with Jimmy helping the song along, it sounds like Crosby, Stills, and Hendrix. So go check that out.
All right. This version peaked at 11 in the States, 3 in Canada. A different re-recording of this was played under the closing credits of the documentary film Woodstock, released in March of 1970.
I don't know why they can't just use the same version anyway. Why did they record a different version for that? All right, let's get it.
Child of God, he was walking along the road, and I asked him, tell me, where are you going? Mr. told me are stardust, we are golden, we are hero daughters, and we got to get ourselves back to the garden. By the time we got to Woodstock, we were half a million strong. And everywhere was a song and a celebration. And I dreamed I saw the bomb and death flames riding shotgun in the sky, turning into butterflies above our nation. We are stars, we are golden, we are caught in the devil's market, and we got to get ourselves back to the
All right, Woodstock, CSNY. Obviously an iconic song that we both obviously heard before, but it's classic CSN with the harmonies, and then Neil coming in with the hard guitar on there. It could have been Steele's, but I'm pretty positive it's Neil in there, and his little flavor, and he got a little flavor of it in there at the end too to fade us out.
No, definitely. I always appreciated the that maybe harder rock edge that Neil provided to CSN's more folk rock type of leanings right here. So, and he really just describes the story, right? It's kind of interesting. We have almost some biblical allusions though in here as well. Even from the first line, I came upon a child of God walking along the road. I asked him, "Tell me where you're going." Then he said, "Going down to Gasker's farm. Gonna join a rock and roll band. Got to go back to the land and set my soul free."
Yeah, man.
And then they kind of compare that to almost the Garden of Eden, where they say we got to get ourselves back to the garden. And at the end, he notes, what did he say? We are caught in the devil's bargain, and we got to get ourselves back to the garden. Almost framing Woodstock as a religious, spiritual, back to your roots experience. So. A banging track. I haven't heard it in a long time.
I have not either.
That's going to take us, Dad, to our winner of this, Canned Heat or CSNY. Who do you got?
This one's hard. I'm actually going to go Going Up the Country, Canned Heat, which I might be the only one.
Canned Heat, getting your nod of confidence.
Yeah. It's a different kind of song. It's just a totally unique song.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Woodstock, but
I think 95% of the people on here are gonna go with Woodstock, which I get.
But you know what? This was a cool trip down memory lane. So thanks to Seals for bringing this our way. Let us know, of course, your winner down below and your favorite performances from the Woodstock Festival. 54 years, crazy how time flies. Not that I was around for it.
I was going to say, but yeah.
But man, that was a fun battle. If you'd like to have us do a battle or support the channel, check out our Patreon page, link below or at the end screen here. And if you just want to support the channel, hit that thumbs up and that subscribe button. We upload videos every day here at RTTC. And I know, Sean, you actually did a full album review and reaction to Deja Vu by CSNY. And we got a bunch of Neil Young stuff as well.
Bunch of Neil Young, yeah.
But with that said, y'all, we'll bid you adieu, and until next time, thanks for watching, happy listening, and we will see ya.